Hey, what's up? It's Schneider from Ascending Slacklines, and today I'm going to show you how to learn the butt bounce 180. Let's go! In the last video, I taught all of the basic trick line positions, and they're not really considered tricks, but more just like basic things you have to know if you want to be able to trick line. So in this video, you're actually going to learn your first trick line tricks, which is the butt bounce 180. So for any trick where you spin on the slack line, there's two different ways you can spin. There's front side and back side. So in almost any other sport, if you spin to the left or to the right, it's the exact same trick and requires the exact same skill. But slacklining is one of the few sports where if you spin to the left or if you spin to the right, it's a completely different trick and it requires completely different progression to learn the trick. So since people sit on different sides of the line when they slackline, you can't say spin to the left or spin to the right because it'll be different for different people. So in slacklining, we use the term frontside or backside, which describes how you're spinning in relation to where you are on the line. So when you do a backside spin, you're spinning away from the line. And when you do a frontside spin, you're spinning towards the line. So if you butt bounce the same way that I butt bounce, backside is spinning to the left and then frontside is spinning to the right. If you sit on the other side, it's just the exact opposite for you. So at least for the basic tricks, I'd say go ahead and learn all of these in both directions. But once you start getting to more advanced spins and flips, you might start choosing a direction that works best for you. So now I'm going to explain the differences of frontside and backside. So first, backside. These are some things that almost all backside tricks have in common. You can usually spin earlier in the bounce. It's usually easier to spot. It typically requires more height to land the trick. You cross the line at the end of the spin, and it's a little bit harder to progress into. So now I'll show you what I'm talking about with the backside 180. You can see that you can spin right away before I even leave the line. I do the spin before I cross the line, and the last thing I do is I cross the line right before I land. Okay, so now these are the things that almost all frontside spins have in common. You can see that you have to go up before you spin, otherwise your knees are gonna crash into the line. The first thing you do is you cross the line and then you do the spin. It's a little bit harder to spot because you can't really see the anchor as you're landing. Now I'm gonna teach you how to progress into the backside butt bounce 180. So the first thing you're gonna do is initiate the spin with your arms and just eject off the line. Once you become confident with that, your goal is going to be to get your left foot to cross the line. And then from here, all you have to do is just bring your other foot over, and that's the butt bounce 180. So when you first start this trick, it might look like this. So the problem with landing like that is I'm grabbing onto the line, so I'm balancing forwards and backwards instead of left and right. And also my foot is dabbing on the ground. But you should definitely land it like that a few times at first because it's gonna teach you how to land it safely and without hurting yourself. Once you can land it like that every single time, you're gonna wanna start letting go of your hands and not grabbing the line when you land. Once you become confident with that, now it's time to take away your feet. So the first couple times you do this, you might still wanna grab onto the line, but let go of your feet. Now it's time to put the two together. Now try and land it without grabbing the line or putting your feet on the ground. So I broke my finger petting a sea lion in the cove this morning. It's a long story. I don't have time to explain it, but since I have my broken finger, I have my friend Octav here, and he's gonna help me show you how to do this trick. Spin as you're going up. Up. Oh, there you go. That was it. That was really close. Once you can land like this, all you have to do is get your other foot over now and then see how I'm in the butt bounce. Okay, now get your other foot over. You got it. That's the butt bounce, that's it. Yeah. Just to put it all together. Now try and get both feet over the line at the same time. Oh, so close. Oh, that's so close. You're almost there. You're so close. Oh no, it's scary.
Yeah.
I don't want to fall there. Okay, more air, more air, more air. And commitment, more air. Oh, that was so close. If you get this like this fast. Oh, that was it, that was it. Yeah. You had your foot on the line. Oh,
yeah.
You kind of landed like this, and now you're gonna want to start to land more facing the line and have your arms making a cross with the line. Oh! Oh, that was it! That was it! I did it! Oh! You did it again! Oh! Okay, so when you're trying the front side 180 butt bounce, the first progression step is just to jump up and try and just get to the other side of the line. Now you're gonna start to put a little bit of a spin into it. You're gonna try and spin as you go over the line. Each time you're just gonna spin more and more until eventually you can do the 180 spin. Okay, now the goal is just to try and land back on the line. Even if you can't get the full 180 the first couple of times doing it, just try and land wherever you are and then spin into a 180 after you land. First, just try and jump over the line.
You have to push
Yeah.
and then go.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Now
Nice.
spin 180. There you go. And that's the, there you go. Now you just gotta put it all together now.
See?
Okay, so now you're gonna wanna try and spin your body more. There you go, yeah, like that. So right when you land, try and spin your body as fast as you can until eventually you can just land like that. Oh, there you go. That's really close. You just have to spin a little bit more and then you'll land it. Oh, you're so close. So I think you're trying to jump more towards me. Oh yeah. You have to go more up and then spin.
Okay.
Oh! You're still coming towards me. Oh! That was it! The little style thing that I do for me now when I spin frontside is I actually do the spin before my feet cross. So I tuck, extend my feet, and then cross the line. And what this allows me to do is I get to spin right away before I cross the line. And it's a little bit scary when you learn it, but once you learn it, it actually makes it a lot easier. Okay, so that's the 180 butt bounce. Just keep practicing and I'm sure you'll get it. It's a really fun trick once you get it, so keep practicing.